when I first reached out to you, I guess this was probably 2018, so it was quite some time ago. I was in this, I had dealt with a lot of medical issues and I was just recovering from surgery. And I was actually on a short term leave, a disability at home, recovering from the surgery when I came across you. And I think I heard you speak somewhere and I was like, oh, maybe I should talk to her. And a lot of the stuff that you talk about is relationships and finding your femininity and all this stuff. And that wasn't what spoke to me, though. It was more that I felt like I was so damaged because I had had all these surgeries and I was sick and I had lived my whole life pretty sick, but I was successful in my career, right? Like I was like pushing forward and like I feel like I am crying right now because it's so emotional for me that I needed to almost like fall in love with myself. And I felt broken. Like I really felt like I was broken. Like, why would anybody want to be with me? So instead, I was like, I'm going to build this work life. Like that's going to be my life. I'm going to do a lot of charity work. I'm going to really dive into my friendships. And what you helped me do that you don't even realize maybe that you helped me do is that when I was 100% living in this masculine energy, right? I definitely was doing that. I'm a feminine person, but I wasn't showing any vulnerability because I felt so broken that I felt like I had to keep this super strong guard up or somebody was going to see all these cracks, right? And the question that you asked me, and you don't even know my medical history, you don't even know what's going on with my body or anything like that, but you said, how does that affect him, whoever he is, right? This future he. That affects you, Sabrina, every day. It affects you all day long, every day, but how does that affect him? And I remember sitting there with you on the other side, and I was sitting there and I was like, I just really was like, yeah, but as a person, I'm so much more than my body. And that changed my whole dynamic. And I mean, I can't help but put this on you helping me realize this, but I'm in a relationship now. It's the longest relationship yes.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that. I mean, I saw a hint of it, but I wasn't sure. I was just like, this could be her brother or someone else.
He's not on social media, so he doesn't like to really be on the socials and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, so I don't really I'm not one of the people that posts pictures like, oh, I have this awesome boyfriend, like it's so yeah, you probably wouldn't know. But it's been almost a year and a half now. It's one of my longest relationships of my life. It is super healthy. It's easy. It's natural. He thinks I'm gorgeous, right? Like he sees my health and all of that kind of stuff as struggles that I've overcome that have made me a stronger person. Versus being broken, he almost sees me like stronger than the normal person, like almost like
yes.
and I believe him because you made me love myself. So I actually believe him when he says these things. And it impacted. And one of the things that he talks to me about, one of the things he likes about me, that we live in Chicago, this big city, everything's fast, there's tons of competition, I'm in sales, it's very competitive. And one of the things he compliments me on a lot is how feminine I am. And really? I was only able to be this feminine because you helped me take my guard down and become vulnerable and feminine and not be living in that masculine power. And
this is what I live for. This is why I do what I do.
The other thing too, for me is just from an age perspective, like I'm in my mid 40s. And I think that sometimes I know like some of my friends that are single, like it's very easy to kind of almost be like, you know what, maybe it's not in my cards. Maybe love's not in my cards. Maybe I just wasn't made to be with another person. Maybe it made me realize like I had always put this guard up in fear of being rejected. I was actually like sabotaging some of these relationships because I didn't want to be rejected, right? Or I was trying to like play a role or be somebody that I wasn't because I was trying to hide a certain part of my life. I don't know that I would have been able to get to this point if you hadn't just pointed out these things to me.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think you just represent like such a beautiful role model for other women as well, that you get to have both, right? You get to have a thriving, badass career, which you do, and you get to have this really beautiful, intimate, romantic relationship with a man that
Amazing.
respects you so much and admires you for overcoming everything that you have in your life and loves you more for that. And I think what you said more than anything was a huge takeaway, that you really, I mean, because you were really at a point of like questioning for yourself if this was even going to happen for you, but
Yeah.
you put the focus on loving yourself. And I even remember like you were worried about being able to have kids, and then you went and became a foster mom, right? You're like, I'm done having these external things dictate my happiness, you know, and you got a beautiful dog, and you're getting to mother these beautiful girls. And so you led with your heart into the things and the passions that made you feel full and whole and complete, not needing or waiting on the man to make you happy. And then guess what? He came right in afterwards.
Exactly. So true. Like something that I wanted so bad was to be in a relationship, but not just any relationship. Those I've had options to be in those types of relationships. I wanted to be in a like a mutually beneficial or happy relationship. And I always felt like I was in something where I was chasing somebody, or I was in something I didn't really like them too much, but they really liked me and that felt good. So I'll stick here for a little while, you know, and to have this mutually beneficial, happy connection with somebody has changed everything. It's made my job better. I'm able to take him to family stuff. So it's like made my family time better. It's in addition to, like you said, having this thriving career and this thriving relationship, like I have been like taking care of this body of mine. Like I work out all the time now. I never did that before. I lost like 45 pounds almost at this point, like during COVID, which I guess is the opposite of most people, but all of it has like changed my whole world and my whole outlook. And like anybody that was is in a situation where they've like felt like I did, where you felt jaded by relationships and you kind of lost hope and started thinking like, maybe my life is just not supposed to have a man in it, and I'm going to do all these other things, and maybe you already have children. I'm going to be a single mom. I'm going to pour myself into these kids and pour myself into my job, pour myself into this nonprofit, whatever it is. If deep down what you really want is a partner, then you have to take the time and have the patience to do the work. And the work isn't hard. It's just you have to make some space in your life to get into that mindset, because you have to, in my mind, you don't have to do anything. But for me, I had to love myself first. I had to realize like that I'm enough and that I'm not broken. That takes some time to be vulnerable enough to do that. And you showed me that.